All right, so basically, bug bounty is a general name of the programs that companies open to find security vulnerabilities in their software or websites. So, by announcing the bug bounty program to the public, companies allow security testing of their software and usually reward the reporting person for reporting these vulnerabilities. So, thanks to bug bounty, companies fix vulnerabilities in their software and prevent these vulnerabilities from hopefully being exploited. But the benefit for hackers is actually quite high. Some possible rewards, depending on the program and company, of course: money, certificates, recognition, name in the Hall of Fame pages. That's a nice option for your CV. Or some really swank swag packages like t-shirts and pens and mugs and bags, because you really don't have enough of them. But of course, that all depends upon the generosity, the creativity of the company. Sometimes you might even get an apprentice program or a job. But you never can tell. But I'll tell you this: every bug bounty hunter has a distinctive technique for searching vulnerabilities, and it typically varies from individual to individual. And it does take some time for a researcher, and I put that in quotes, a researcher, to improve their personal technique, and plenty of experimentation as well. Now, there is a methodology of bug bounty hunting, so you got to generally observe a batch of objectives that goes a little something like this: analyzing the scope of the program. And I'll tell you this for nothing: the scope is the most important aspect of a bug bounty program. Why? Because it tells you which assets to test, and you don't want to spend time testing out-of-scope domains, believe me. Not that I speak from experience or anything. Also, you got to be looking for valid targets. So valid targets are the targets that help you quickly test for vulnerabilities in the scope and reduce wasting any more time. Reconnaissance. So this step is obviously a very important step in exploring an area to get confidential information. Now, it also plays a key role in penetration testing. Reviewing all applications. Now, at this stage, this is where you review all the applications and select the ones based on your skill set. Fuzzing for errors to expose flaws. You remember what fuzzing is, right? It's basically defined as iteration, but you and I know it as the fastest way to hack an application is to test all of its input parameters. And then comes exploiting vulnerabilities. So in conventional penetration tests, vulnerability exploitation is not that important. But in bug bounty hunting, the stronger the proof of concept, the better and bigger the reward. Of course, that depends on the generosity of the company. So to become a bug hunter, well, the crucial aspect is to learn about web application technologies and mobile application technologies alike. So these are the things that are going to kickstart your career as a bug bounty hunter. Now, apart from knowing about some technologies, you also should be aware of the vulnerabilities that are commonly used, like injection, broken authentication, cross-site scripting, or XSS, broken access control, security misconfiguration, and the like. Now, bug bounty platforms. These are software programs that are used to distribute bug bounty programs. So a bug bounty application is a deal or a praise presented for non-public people who control to find bugs and vulnerabilities in web applications, correctly crowdsourcing flaw and vulnerability management. Most organizations use bug bounty platforms to complement their in-residence QA and bug locating efforts. But here, I want to show you is pretty much the top bug bounty platforms, right? So by becoming a member of these platforms, you can test your skills and maybe win lots of prizes. Anyway, what's the difference between penetration testing and bug bounty hunting? Well, remember the criteria, right? The scope. So pen tests are conducted to meet the exacting needs of a specific client. Indeed, there are many types of assessments, ranging from internal and external network testing to web application testing, wireless testing, and many more. Bug bounty programs are focused only on testing websites and web applications that are publicly accessible. So for this reason, bounty programs can't detect vulnerabilities inside of a network or before websites and applications go live. Makes sense, right? Duration? So pen tests must be completed within a time specified by the customer. On the other hand, bug bounty programs are not conducted in line with specific deadlines, and for that very reason are best used in continuous testing. So it makes them ideal for large technology businesses that are constantly releasing new products and updates. What about the cost? Yeah, the cost of a penetration test is typically based on the number of days required for hackers to achieve the agreed objective of the test. And on the other hand, most bug bounty platforms allow organizations to set the price they are prepared or willing to pay. Now, while this may seem appealing, setting bounties too low might well deter testers. But again, you got to judge that for yourself. Now, a bug bounty is not a ransom paid to hackers who discover a vulnerability, exploit it, and then try to sell that data to an organization. All right? Let me be clear. This is not a ransom. A bug bounty program is described with the aid of using a clear scope, hints, and controlled with the aid of using a verified process. All right? Bug bounties are set up to attach corporations of people that want to help each other, whether or not they prefer it, right? So firms specifically state the goal system or products which might be in the scope of this program. They also can specify targets and structures which might be out of scope. They additionally give an explanation for the rules of the program. And then as time passes, this coverage of information program rules may change. It is necessary, though, to follow these changes through the notification channels of the bug bounty program. That's why bug bounty programs are essential. Let's say, for example, you've detected a vulnerability in an out-of-scope system or website of the company that owns a program. Well, you're not going to receive any reward when you report it. You might be doing them a favor. But when you follow the notifications, the system or website that you found may actually be included in the scope. And then, if you are the first to forward that vulnerability that you find, then you may indeed be rewarded. Now, by the way, it is necessary to mention rewards. If two different people detect the same vulnerability or vulnerabilities or even an exploitation, the very first to submit gets the prize. Okay, the second sender is not usually even acknowledged, let alone rewarded, but sometimes small rewards are sent for motivational purposes. So in that respect, what I'm telling you is true. It's very important to follow the notifications.